So the Athletics posted their best bets and also their prediction for the whole entire league on how it's going to finish. All right. Well, I'm going to use this segment and put it at the beginning of the video because I completely scrolled past it. So, guys, watching this sounds weird, but I actually scrolled past all these initial teams, including the Bengals. So I'm going to put this segment right here, and then I'm going to have the rest of the video be the rest of the video, okay? New York Giants over 6.5 wins. Yeah, Danny Dimes. Vanilla Michael Vick. I'm going to go with over. Chargers under 8.5 wins. I think under. I think Jim's going to take 2 years to get going. Bengals over 10.5 wins. So that means they're going to have us at 11-6, 12-5, 13-4, 14-3, 15-2, or 16-1, or 17-0. You know automatically. So I think we're going to go 14-3. So 1000% this is accurate, okay? Athletics, you're beautiful. We love you. I wish you would have just said we were going to go 17-0, and then I could even say I love you even more. But overall wise, yeah, I agree with that. 11. I'd like this bet. I would take this bet, but I would take 13 plus wins as well. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Seattle Seahawks over 7.5 wins. Oh, they're another team that I'm so iffy about. Got a new head coach, comes over from Baltimore, their defense coordinator. Geno Smith, is he really the hotness or not? Kind of iffy about him. Yeah, I guess I take the over. Why are so many people crapping on Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay was actually like a really good team last year. And I get the point, like, oh, well, you know, this year it's going to be the complete opposite. We're going to see Baker Mayfield absolutely suck, and he's not going to be able to do what he did last season. The only reason he did what he did last season was because he was so, you know, underestimated. It's pretty much the same thing that happened with Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a really great season and then sucked. And it's because everyone did not expect him to be good, and he was good. So, I think over. I'm saying over, and I know that's going to be weird, but I'm saying over right there. Alright, so this is where I start the rest of this video, guys. One sec. So starting off right away, they have the Indianapolis Colts with over 8.5 wins. Keep in mind, Vegas does this. They go ahead and put out the bets for each team and whether or not they're going to get the over, which means that they would have to get 9 plus wins in order to hit the over, or 8 wins to hit the under, and you kind of predict whether or not, you know, either is going to happen. So what they're saying here is they think the Colts are going to go either 9-8 or above. That would be what the over would be. So 9-8, you know, 10-7, 11-6, 12-5, 13-4. You know, you guys understand. 14-3, whatever. So that's what they think their Colts are going to go. They think the Colts are going to go above 9 wins. So at least 500. Okay. The rest of the league. In all honesty, if I really give my prediction here, Colts... See, the Colts are such an interesting team. It's like, I think the Texans will win that division. I'm very high on CJ Stroud, as you probably already know if you watch the channel. I'm so torn with the Colts. Because there is a 100% of world where I see the Colts going 10 or 11 wins this season. And I think Anthony Richardson is a very big question mark. And I think he can be good. And obviously Joe Flacco is his backup if he's not. But it's like they have the roster with the offensive line, with the receiving core. Obviously Jonathan Taylor's back. They lost Zach Moss. That's huge. They have the defense to be very successful. And they have an easy schedule. So I want to say they have 10 wins. At least 10 wins. But I can't realistically say that. And if someone like made an argument, or if they ended up being 8-8, oh sorry, not 8-8, 8-9, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Like, this is the most it comes down to Anthony Richardson team out there. Like, this is quarterback dependent. I think Joe can only do so much if he became the starting quarterback. And I think if Anthony Richardson, if he is a bust, the problem is here, right? It's not if Anthony Richardson is if he gets hurt, whatever, Joe Flacco comes in, whatever, right? That's not really what it's about. It's about if Anthony Richardson stays healthy and he sucks and he's a bust. At what point does the Indianapolis Colts feel, listen, we spent a 4th pick overall in the NFL draft on this guy. At what point are we going to bench him? That's where I feel like the worst case scenario is. If he goes out week 1, tears his ACL, out for the season, that's not worst case scenario for the Colts. Then they get Joe Flacco in there. If he sucks, they get somebody else, right? That's, whatever. It's either that or, again, he's actually good and, they have a good season. Or, again, the third option is it's just literally they don't know when to bench him, when you give up on him. Because that's the hardest thing to do, I feel like, at an NFL team when you have a new quarterback and you spent a top 5 pick on him. At what point do you say, all right, we're done. He's done for the season? Because the second you bench him, you kill his confidence. You kill any chance of him feeling that the team supports him. And it becomes to a point where you just pretty much destroy him. But then again, that's why so many teams in the past, they have let their first round draft pick play the whole season. Even if they suck, they play the whole season. You see, Baltimore did this with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson took over at the end of the season into the playoffs. He plays the Chargers in the wild card. He's getting absolutely smacked. He's getting his butt tapped. He's getting thrown upside down. It's like a grill, and he's being flipped up like a patty, and he getting slapped left, right. Joe Flacco, the whole stadium screaming, Joe, put in Joe, put in Joe. John looks at the whole stadium and goes, no, Lamar's our quarterback. And does not put in Joe Flacco. Again, it's that mentality. At what point do you bench your guy? That's why I feel like the Colts are such a weird team. And I feel so weird about them. 49ers under 11.5 wins. They have a tough schedule. Without Brandon Ayuk, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say, I would think over 11.5 wins, but yeah. In the end, they think even, so they think that they're going to go 11.5 wins, which you would at that point, exactly 11 wins, so 11-6. So they think that they're gonna go 11-6, which. Okay, I mean, I don't think 11-6 is a bad prediction for the Chiefs. Ravens, Ratbirds, under 11.5 wins. I'm not betting against anyone in the AFC North anymore. I've learned my lesson. I learned my lesson on that one. Buffalo Bills, over 10.5 wins. There's so much hate I've seen for Bills this season, like saying they're gonna suck. I feel like they're going to be just like they always are. 10 or 11 wins. Dallas Cowboys, 10.5 wins. Yeah, they'll probably be 11 wins. Philadelphia Eagles, under 10.5 wins. Okay. If this happens, then Sirianni is fired. Also, if they're under 10.5 wins, I really does. I'm so iffy about Jalen Hurts, I feel like. But if under 10.5 wins, man, that team will be so disappointed. Like, they have the roster to go 17-0. They have the roster to do it. Detroit, they have a tough schedule, though. Detroit Lions, over 10.5 wins. I think that will happen, yeah. Miami Dolphins, over 9.5 wins. Tua's getting paid. Green Bay Packers, over 9.5 wins. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, here's the thing I feel like Jordan Love. I do like Jordan Love. I think he could be a really great quarterback. I think he is a great quarterback. Excuse me. I think he is a great quarterback. Problem I have with him, right? Just give him the I just gave him the compliment just to lock him back down. The problem I have with Jordan Love is I think Jordan Love is, again, a great quarterback, but I feel like he's always going to be a 10, not 10, but a 9-10 win season type quarterback. I just think he will eventually win the Super Bowl. And he'll do it one time, just like Rodgers did, and never again. Atlanta Falcons, under 9.5 wins. Yeah. See, that's another situation. At what point, if Kirk sucks and he's trash, you paid him $188 million, at what point do you bench him to put in the backup? Penix, you spent a top 10 pick on. Over 9.5 wins for Texans? Yeah, I agree with that. New York Jets, under 9.5 wins. Yeah, it comes down to Rodgers. It really does. And if Rodgers back the whole entire season, I think it's going to be a tough one. Jacksonville under 8.5 wins after paying Trevor Lawrence that money, man. Jags fans might run him out of town. Under 8.5 wins for the Rams. I think the Rams will be good this season. Under 8.5 wins for the Bears. What? Caleb Williams, the Messiah, is not going to have over... Yeah, I agree with that. He's going to suck. Cleveland Brownies, under 8.5 wins. Ooh. Well, you know what they say. Should have kept Joe. Saints, over 7.5 wins. Yeah, sure. I don't know. The Saints are such a weird team as well. I don't have faith in Derek Carr. I have more faith in Taysom Hill. Squealers, under 7.5 wins. I agree with that 100%. The ending part of their schedule is the only reason why. It's not even me being a hater. It's the ending part of the schedule. Vikings, under 6.5 wins. I would say over. I'd say over. Las Vegas Raiders, because they're not even going to start. They're going to start Sam Darnold. They're not even starting J.J. McCarthy, because McCarthy needs time to develop. And McCarthy's not going to be good. Listen, okay, I'm not a hater of J.J. McCarthy. It's just the fact that he played at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, right? And I'm not even, I don't like Jim Harbaugh. But they ran a run-heavy offense. It wasn't an offense where the quarterback had to do much of anything. He handed the ball off, and that's it. Okay? That's all he did. Hand the ball off, and that's it. Played great defense. Jim was a great coach. That's my only problem with them. Raiders, over than 6.5 wins. I'd say under. Tennessee Titans, over 6.5 wins. Yeah, I agree. Commanders, 6 wins exactly. I agree. Arizona Cardinals, over 6.5 wins. Cardinals are another team that I'm so iffy about. Carolina Panthers, under 5.5 wins. I think the Panthers are going to go exactly 7-9. 7-10. Excuse me. So I think over. Broncos, under 5.5 wins. Brandon Brennan, I feel like at this point would just accept the fact that this is a thing. And wait, how did I miss the Bengals? Hold up. I just scrolled past the Bengals at one point, didn't I? Baltimore. Hold up. Where are the Bengals? Okay. Patriots, 4.5 wins. Broncos. They just don't have the Bengals. I know what they have for the Bengals. Oh, they were the first. I just completely scrolled past this completely. Alright. I just completely scrolled past this.